Is in English, and as Robert Kaki has said, it should be translated. The comments on the topic, I will try to present it in a very simple form. I am sorry that I did not write a paper because of time constraint, and I am writing and you will send you. Just I want to tell you in a brief way what is going on in the world today. We must know us left democratic process. I think that all those who are assembled here, all those who are assembled here are very much conscious of the things that are going on around us. This is a particular situation in the world at a global level, that we are now going through one of the darkest periods in human history. For instance, do you know that a humanitarian catastrophe, an extermination, genocide, ethnic cleansing of a people, Palestine. The people of Palestine is going on in that place in West Asia. But still, international community, world community is unable to issue or come for a common position against this biggest ever extermination or genocide that is now infiltrated, superimposed on the Palestinian people by the Zionists and the imperialists together. What is the reason? Yesterday you heard from paper that the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, he made an intervention which is during the last 50 years no such intervention was there on the part of the UN Secretary General for the last 50 years. He invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter. That is the last resort for the UN Secretary General. He demanded that the UN Security Council should immediately intervene and do whatever it can possible to stop the massacre that is going on in Palestine. This is very rare of the part of the UN Secretary General, because UN Secretary General will not usually intervene in Security Council. But according to the Article 99 of the UN Charter, you can see, according to that, Article 99, in very rare exceptional cases, the UN Secretary General can resort to such a move. This is done for the first time in the last 50 years in international politics. Even the UN Secretary General is taking this much, he is coming forward. But the international community, the so-called European Union, the America, and you know the Indian situation, it was always with the Palestinian people. Even in 1948, when Israel was superimposed, put on the people of Palestine, arbitrarily put on the people of Palestine by US and UK. Even Mahatma Gandhi was questioning it. Gandhi opposed. This is not acceptable. And for a long time, India was with the Palestinian people. India was one of the first countries which gave diplomatic relationship, which established diplomatic relationship with the PLO. And never, until 1990, India never accepted any established diplomatic relationship with Israel. But it was in 1992 Two, that along with the demolition of the Babri Masjid, it was the Rao government which established a diplomatic relationship with Israel. And it was under the Rao government that Babri Masjid was demolished in 1990. So things rapidly changed in the 90s. So I am just telling this. So these are new developments. And for instance, now at a global level, as Commodore Manohar Das already mentioned, far right, we may call far right, radical right, ultra right, whatever you call it, coupled with the neo-fascism. I will explain all these things. So these neo-fascist far right forces are on the offensive. Most of the European countries, in many countries, neo-fascist parties are the single largest party in Europe. Or the runner-up, like Maria Le Pen of France. Now, Birkin Paides, a neo-fascist, he has won the largest number of seats in Netherlands. That's the government. You know, Netherlands, Sweden, Finland, Norway, all these are Scandinavian countries. What is the difference between mainland Europe and Scandinavian countries? Even under neoliberalism, even under the neoliberal policies since the 1990s, most of the Scandinavian countries of Europe were having a socially liberal, in our understanding, a bourgeois democratic, some kind of a democratic, some kind of a welfare state, progressive taxation, public expenditures, and there is some kind of a harmony, some kind of a socially liberal society. These Scandinavian countries like Netherlands, this Finland, Sweden, Norway, etc. But all these are fast changing to neo-fascist position. Now these finalists who came to power, not he came to power, but he became the single largest party. The name of the party is Party for Freedom or Freedom Party. He calls for a de-Islamization of the entire Netherlands. De-Islamization. And while refugees, or a refugee crisis is one of the most important things in the world, you know. Why refugee crisis is coming? Because of the operations of imperialism, global capital. Rather, world by European and American imperialists of Africa and West Asia, Middle East. That is the reason for the flood of refugees. Thousands of refugees are being drowned in Mediterranean. We are hearing thousands are drowned in Mediterranean. Why these things are going on? Now, this new party, Freedom Party in Netherlands, this neo-fascist party is saying that now an asylum tsunami is there in the world, so we have to oppose it. Migrants should not be allowed in Europe. All mosques should be demolished. All Muslim schools should be stopped. Xenophobic means extreme nationalism, hatred for the moderate. Xenophobic, racist situation is developing. Ultra-nationalist situation is developing in Europe. In Italy, the Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, a woman, a lady, she claims that her roots are in Mussolini. She openly claims. She got inspiration from Mussolini. So open fascist adoration is going on in Europe by the very political leaders of Europe. What is happening to the world today? Most of the countries, even though many of the countries not in power. They are, as I told you, they are under. And in European Parliament, the Parliament, the so-called European Parliament, the neo-fascism is actually fascism because it is in the neoliberal period. It was not classical fascism of Hitler and Mussolini. It is fascism of the present situation, the neoliberal period. That is why we say neo-fascism. So these neo-fascists are having their fair hold over in European countries, and in the European Parliament, policy decisions are influenced by neo-fascists. And even the center right party, so center right means the mainstream right. The mainstream right means the ruling classes. They are actually going with the far right. They are going with the far right. Far right means these fascists in power. So this is a very striking, very dangerous, negative trend that is taking place in the world. Yes. She will translate whatever I tell.
Operator, they want translation. I have a bit of person basic. Yes. Some person fees, then you start.
You see? Yes. You when we come, she will translate whatever I say. Don't worry. So this neo-fascist movement, I am just telling what simple doing. Whatever I am saying is simple so far. These far right forces are on the offensive. Not only in Europe, in Latin America, Javier Milei, the new president, is known as the madman of Latin America, Argentina. The Argentinian president, he is known as the madman of Argentina, Latin America, because he is saying that Trump is the world leader. He is against communism, Islam, everything. And we know the case of India. Now Modi is becoming the world leader. The world is now saying that Modi is becoming celebrated. Not only Modi media in India, not only corporate media in India, not only WhatsApp, BJP's WhatsApp universities, even the world over, these neo-fascist forces are now uniting with Modi. So this is a very serious situation in the global level, and is this question that we are going to address and we are going to discuss. So today we know that today we are in a neo-fascist world. I will explain these things later on. But earlier also, in the 1930s, where we had a fascist situation, Mussolini and Hitler, and you know everything regarding fascism in Europe, which we call classical fascism, or fascism before the Second War that ended with the Second World War. What led to fascism at that time? You might have heard that there was a serious economic crisis. During the 1930s, there was a serious global world economic crisis called the depression. Great economic depression. And in this great economic depression, world production collapsed by 50%. Even in America, which is the biggest capitalist imperialist country in the world, Unemployment skyrocketing. Production went down. Income went down. No demand. There is no money with the people to purchase things produced. What has happened? Lakhs and lakhs of tons of grains were taken to Atlantic cruise ships and dropped there. When people were without food, people were dying. Capitalism cannot give food freely to the people. There should be price, there should be money. So people have no money. So instead of creating demand by increasing the purchasing power, by increasing the income of the people, they took these food grains, wheat to the Atlantic and dropped it there. This was what was happening. And it was in that context, whenever a crisis is there, whenever the people are facing crisis, unemployment is there, poverty is there. Now refugee crisis is there, So when many crises are there, the rightist forces, the far right forces, the capitalist forces, reactionary capitalists, they will take advantage of the situation. And that is why in Germany and Italy, fascism arose. At that time what happened? At that time communist forces were there. Internationally, communist movement was advancing. You know history. Led by Communist International. Led by Comintern, Communist International Comintern. Led by Comintern. The international communist movement came forward. They organized an anti-fascist militant movement led by Soviet Union. How the anti-fascist movement was formed? Joining with all non-fascist capitalists. There are capitalist ruling classes which are not fascist. They are also ruling classes. America is imperialist power. Britain is imperialist power. But Britain is not fascist. So non-fascist ruling classes were also brought into the anti-fascist alliance by Communist Party, by Communist International, and a worldwide anti-fascist offensive was made. And communism was advancing. In India, in China, at a global level, communist parties were advancing. National liberation movements were advancing. Anti-colonial struggles were advancing. So there was a progressive, democratic, left advancement was there at that time. Taking this situation into consideration, when the anti-fascist struggle was going on, led by communists, what the capitalist imperialist powers did, they took a tactic. They stopped for the time being this full-fledged capitalism. Unfettered, uncontrolled, free play of market forces were restrained. State intervention was brought. Planning was brought. Welfare state came into being. You may have heard about the theories of Keynes, etc. In America, in Britain, in Europe, a welfare state means state came to the corporate. Instead of allowing capitalist corporate powers, financial capitalists, free reign, free control over the economy, what happened? The state came into being, and the state took the leadership, planning, progressive taxation of corporates, public expenditures were increased, budget came into the scene. So there was a restriction, control over capitalism, control over finance capitalism. That was what happened. What was the result? Not only fascists were defeated, people united. Fascists were defeated, and from the 50s after the Second World War, for 2 decades, a welfare state came into being all over the world. That period is known as golden age of capitalism. Golden age of capitalism. Because from 50s to the 60s, 2 decades, 1950s and 1960s, you can cover if you ask some people who are knowing all these things, they will tell you that. So these 50s and 60s are known as golden age of American capitalism. Why? Up to the 30s of the 20th century, growth rate was, economic growth rate was only less than 2%. World level. But in the 50s and 60s, capitalist development was 5%. That is what is called golden state intervention. State-led development process. You might have known about the European model in India. Along with this welfare state, in India also we had a state intervention. We had a planning. We had a public sector. Employment was increased. Educators work. Working class got many rights. They had many, there were many labor laws. Even though capitalism was there, even though imperialism was there, private property was dominating, but state intervention was there, and this created what is called a welfare state. But everything changed by the 70s. Rapid change took place in the 70s. Basic for explaining the neo-fascist process. I am just placing before you how these things happen. What is the background? Because without understanding, without a proper diagnosis, you cannot treat. For treating a disease, you have to have a proper diagnosis. That is very important for physician. Without a proper diagnosis, nothing can be done with regard to treatment. So that is why we should be very careful of analyzing. So by the 70s, what happened? By the 70s, you must know that the welfare state collapsed. Why? New crisis came. Because you cannot overcome capitalist crisis by certain reforms, by certain window dressing. Simply having some window dressing, some adjustment, some short-term measures, you cannot overcome the capitalist problem. Problem of the capitalist imperialist system. It is inherent. It is inherent. As long as private property is there, as long as profit motive is there, as long as corporates are for plundering people, plundering nature. You know the situation in Chennai now. It is not because of rain, but because of the corporate development model, because of urbanization, because of corporate plunder, because of real estate development. That is the reason. It will be there, but the new development model, the model of new development, that is why capitalism is always for profit. So state intervention, progressive taxation, everything was there. So but 70s what happened? New crisis developed. That crisis is known as stagflation. Stagnation plus inflation. A new crisis. In the 30s there was only stagnation, depression. But in the 70s, along with the depression, along with the stagnation, inflation also came into being. Inflation means price rise. That is called stagflation. This welfare state collapsed. There was no medicine because capitalism cannot be treated. Capitalism cannot be sold through this type of reformism. The system should be changed. So when this new crisis came, what has happened to the international left? What has happened to the communist movement? In the 30s, communist movement was there to intervene. So capitalism was forced to adopt certain reformist measures, welfare state. But in the 70s, what happened? Communism was already facing setbacks. Soviet Union went to the capitalist path. The proletariat, the working class, and the oppressed peoples, their interest was abandoned. Soviet Union also started catching up with the West, competing with the West for world economy, for world power. You know, Brezhnev came to India in the 70s, you know all these things. When I will come to that. When Indira Gandhi was declaring emergency, when the crisis in India erupted, that global star crisis was in India also, not only at the global level. American dollar, its value declined. Before 1970s, if you take $1, you will get 35 ounce of $35, you will get 1 ounce of gold. Up to 70s, if you take 35 American dollars, 1 ounce of gold American dollar given to you. That is the power of the dollar until the 70s. But in the crisis of the 70s, that power of dollar has gone. America declared that no exchange between dollar and gold. You will not be given gold, so power of dollar declined. Similarly, in India also, crisis took place. You might have heard about the 1973 railway workers strike. 17 died railway employees. The biggest strike in their industrial history. Nobody is saying that. The biggest strike, you can say somebody, the biggest strike in world industrial history is the railway workers strike of 1973-74. 17 lakh employees strike. They stopped work. At that time, 17 lakh employees were there, but railway developed 5 times. After 1970, the railway development is 5 times today. But working class, now the railway employees number is 12 lakh. Railway developed 5 times, but working class declined to 12 times instead of 17 lakh. This is what is happening in the world. Development is there. Markets are declining. Jobless growth is down. So that is another question. But in the 70s, what happened? When capitalism was facing crisis, when imperialism was facing crisis, that left should be there, communism should be advanced, communism should be coming forward. But what was the condition of the 70s? Soviet Union was brought to the right. What happened in China? By the 70s, China also went to the capitalist path. You know, Mao died, Deng Xiaoping came. So China insert that Kissinger, Henry Kissinger, who died recently, he went to Beijing in 1971, followed by Nixon. Why American imperialism and China became friends against Russia, against the Soviet Union? So communist setbacks were there. Politically, ideologically, communist international leadership for the communist movement could not understand what is happening. What is the development? Taking advantage of this situation, taking advantage of this setback of the communist movement, what capitalism did? In the 30s, they resorted to welfare state. Because communism was advancing. Progressive forces were advancing. But in the 70s, what happened? Communism was declining. Left were declining. Taking advantage of the situation, instead of taking any reformist position, imperialism took a reactionary position. Neoliberalism came into being. What is neoliberalism? Again, state was withdrawn from the economy, polity, everywhere. Everything is left to free capital. Everything is left to multinational companies and financial companies. Billionaires, corporates, they were given full control. No public expenditure. State was withdrawn. State collapsed. This is the answer for neoliberal policy. Neoliberalism is far right policies came into being. Everywhere, communist parties started declining. Taking advantage of the decline in this situation, what happened? Far right forces started coming. Another government is also there. I am just repeating. By the beginning of the 90s, what happened? Even Soviet Union, which was formally there, that also collapsed. When Soviet Union, which was even though moving towards the capitalist path, that also collapsed in the 1970s. Then what happened? Brezhnev came, Gorbachev came, everything you know. And that is what America said. What imperialism said? They said that history is over, end of history. American intellectuals said, end of history, these are different things. Francis Fukuyama, an American intellectual, wrote that history is over. History of class struggle is no more. Communism is no more. Ideology is no more. End of ideology. It was in this context that America invented, as another initially said, America invented the new enemy because communism is no more. Communism is failing. It was no more in the field. They said that Soviet Union is no more. China went to capitalism. All countries, capitalist, socialist countries were no more. So communism collapsed. So now free capitalism ended advanced. Then they need a new enemy for cheating the people, for dividing the people, for deceiving the people. They prepared a new enemy. That enemy was Islam. America said the new enemy, that is the global war on terror. Islam was the main thing. Islam is India. Fear of Islam, phobia of Islam. The world over, Islamophobia started to come, and Islamophobia replaced the communist threat. This is what happened. Now, comrades, from Latin America to Europe, from the only Latin America to Americas, from Trump in USA to the entire Americas, in Europe to Middle East to India, everywhere Islam is the enemy, along with the communism. In Europe, in Latin America, in India, everywhere the fascists, the neo-fascists say two enemies. Number one is Islam, number two is communism. This is the present situation. Today means after the neoliberal period, during the last 30 years. What we examine is that not coming to the coordinate Indian situation, just making some error in we must know that during the classical, that means during the 30s and even today, the material base, material means the economic base of fascism is corporate capital. During the 30s and even today, no change. No change. Because it is the most reactionary, most regressive elements of corporate finance capital who control state power under fascism. Under Mussolini and Hitler, and even today, no change. But every social phenomenon is continuously changing. There is no social phenomenon. Nothing in history, nothing in nature which is permanent. Everything is changing. Every moment, change is the essence of nature, change is the essence of society, change is the essence of universe. Everything is changing. Only one thing is not changing, that is change. That word change, except that everything is changing. Similarly, fascism today is not a repetition of the fascism of the 30s Mussolini Hitler. Our friends, some of our friends will say, some of our communist friends will say, and that day there was Mussolini Hitler fascism, this is not fascism. because parliament is there. Mussolini and Hitler had no parliament. They abolished parliament. But we must understand that, as Manohar, when he made the speech, he said that the parliament is only a spectator. Modi can pass any law within split seconds. Parliament is simply there. Today we saw Mahbooba Moitra, a lady who questioned Adani. If you question Adani, then it is you will be a traitor now. Because of Adani, Ambani controlling state power. That is the material basis of fascism. In Europe, in America, in India, in Israel, everywhere. Fascist, the material base, the economic base of fascism is corporate capital. But it will be different according to the local situation. When the anti-fascist struggle was there in the 30s, our communist friends should know. Some of our communist friends are saying there is no fascism in India. For example, I am concretely saying some CPI intellectuals, local CPI leaders are saying fascism is there. But CPI leadership is there. Prakash Karat, and even leaders of CPM, even Maoists, some of our Maoist friends are also the same way. But they are saying fascism is already there. No difference between BJP and Congress. This is their position. CPM leadership is saying symptoms of fascism are there, but no fascism. They forgot or they fail to understand what Dimitro, the leader of the Comintern, said in the 30s. Dimitro said in colonial and semi-colonial countries, fascism will not be a repetition of what happened in Europe. There can also be fascism. So fascism can be in India, fascism can be in Israel, fascism can be in Sri Lanka, it can be in Myanmar, but it can be in the Latin America. There the ideological basis of fascism is Christian fundamentalism. Bolsonaro in Brazil, Trump in America, their ideological basis is evangelism, Christian fundamentalism. So depending on the historical, social context of countries, the ideological basis of fascism can change. In the Americas, it is Christian fundamentalism. Trump is a evangelist. Bolsonaro was a fundamentalist, religious fundamentalist, Christian fundamentalist. While in Israel, it is Zionism, Jewish fundamentalism. It is not a Jewish religion. Christian fundamentalism is not Christianity. Hindutva is not Hindu. Similarly, in India, it is Hindutva means political Hinduism and Hindu religion different. You must understand what Savarkar and Golwalkar said. Their Hindutva is not the same as Hindu because that is the difference between Hindu religion and political Hinduism that Hindutva propagated by us. These are fundamentally different. In Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, Buddhism, the Ahimsa, Buddha, that religion is now used as the basis of state, ideological basis of the state in there. So any religion can be, any ideology can be in Europe, it is racism. Any ideology, and in West Asia it is Islam, Iran. So any country can be a fascist country. That country need not be imperialist. Imperialist country can become fascist. A dependent country, a neo-colonial country, or that country which is depending on imperialism can also be fascist. This is the change. So today, when we see fascism, that is why fascism can cut across any countries, any continents, unlike that was the case in the classical, that is in the 30s situation. This is one. Second point, that is why I am coming to Indian situation. What is the Indian situation? You know, India is the most populous country in the world. Not China. India is the most populous country, more than 142 crore people. That is India. And it is also the country which is now controlled by the biggest and the longest running fascist organization in the world, that is RSS. What is RSS? BJP is only a political tool of RSS. BJP has more than 20 crore membership. BJP claims that it has more than 20 crore 200 million membership. BJP claims. But that BJP, which is the biggest political party in the world, Chinese Communist Party is also less than 10 crore membership. Chinese Communist Party. But BJP is claiming 20 crore membership, the biggest party in the world today. That biggest party is only one of the political tools of RSS. RSS, which is claiming as a cultural organization, RSS never claims that it is a political organization. RSS claims as a cultural organization, which is controlling many paramilitary forces. Even RSS friends, you can ask RSS people there. You ask them. RSS controls many open and secret organizations. They can have controls over any organization. They can have control over intellectual. They can control over any spheres of life, culture, education, any spheres. That is RSS. So that RSS, the longest running and the biggest fascist organization, is now through its political tool controls the Indian regime, the Indian state today. Mohan Bhagwat, the Sarsan Charya of RSS, he said the BJP is only one of the political tools. Only one of the political tools for us. We can use any political tool as for our use. That we have seen in the assembly elections to the three states, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. We will explain that. I just said that what we saw in the three assembly elections, especially assembly election results came, but Madhya Pradesh was very interesting, Chhattisgarh was very interesting, Rajasthan very interesting. Why? Even all parties, everybody said that BJP will lose. Even BJP also never expected that in Madhya Pradesh BJP will come to power. But who helped? Kamal Nath. Who was Kamal Nath? In his election campaign, and just coming to a concrete example, you can say this. In the Congress leader of Madhya Pradesh, Kamal Nath's election campaign, RSS made a statement. That is why I told you, go ahead and we can use any partner. But Kamal Nath said, we are the credit for Ram Temple should be given to Congress, not to BJP. Not to RSS. I will let Kamal Nath, in Tamil newspapers, this message may come out. Kamal Nath said, the credit for Ram Temple should be given to Congress. Why? He was against holding a rally, India Alliance rally in Bhopal. This Namna was against because he is opting in Hindutva. So opting in Hindutva and hard in Hindutva, no line of demarcation. BJP is hard in Hindutva and Congress is opting in Hindutva. There is no line of demarcation. So opting in Hindutva goes into hard in Hindutva. Individually. What has happened in India? I said about the global situation. When RSS came to the limelight, RSS started operating in India till the 70s. Of course, RSS was lakh Jews were massacred. 60 lakh, not 60 million. 60 lakh Jews were massacred. Then in the same manner, God said the Muslim question in India should be resolved. In spite of that, RSS after 1949, especially 1948, after the Gandhi assassination, because of the involvement of Godse, he was a former RSS man. Then RSS was banned. Then Kabul Commission report many things. I am not going into those details. So RSS has no credibility among the Indian people. How it got? Because of neoliberalism. At a global level, as I already told you, after the collapse of the welfare state, neoliberalism came, neo-fascism also came. Similarly, in India also, RSS came to the political limelight by the end of the 70s when, because of the economic crisis, because of the Indian state facing the biggest crisis. That is why Indira Gandhi declared emergency. It is not like the fascism. Some people will compare Indira emergency as fascism. It is a mistake. Indira emergency has no ideological basis like RSS, like the Modi regime. It is a short-term phenomenon for India to overcome the crisis. Railway, population crisis. So, when the emergency was declared, who came forward? Who used the paper as allied? Communists were not there. CPM said, REDSTAR came. He addressed Russia. He addressed the Indian Parliament. He said that India is socialist. There is no need for any opposition. REDSTAR said, REDSTAR addressed the Indian Parliament and declared that India is socialist. No need of any opposition here. So CPM remained silent. CP also remained silent. Sundaria resigned, and you know, P. Sundaria, at that time the General Secretary of CPM resigned. All these are part of history. So the communists were not there. What ML forces were doing, they were saying nothing happened. For them, whatever comes, BJP comes, Congress comes, no change. This is the sectarian position of ML parties. So who gained? RSS gained. RSS came to the leadership of all the emergencies country. And RSS formed its political to BJP. Within 20 years, within just 2 decades, RSS led Vajpayee government to power in India by the term of the 21st century. Vajpayee became the Prime Minister of BJP, controlled by RSS. These are part of history. Damle movement, Shilanyas, many movements, demolition of Babri Masjid. So one by one, culminating in Gujarat pogrom, 2002 Gujarat pogrom, genocide by Modi. All these things are part of history. Now Modi became the Prime Minister. What happened? Even the planning ability is abolished. Coverage. By the 90s, when neoliberal policy started, who was in power? Congress. Who demolished the Babri Masjid? When the RSS moves, Parivar moves, when they demolished the Babri Masjid, Congress, the Rahul government was protected. It was the Congress government which was protected. When Modi was denied visa, American visa for 10 years because of Gujarat pogrom. The reason you know, I have explained everywhere. What is the reason? The money collected from America was used there. We can discuss this question in detail. How? RSS was an organization in America. RSS was hundreds of organizations all over the world. In 156 countries of the world, RSS Parivar organizations are there, including ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. These are things people know. So American fund collected from America by a voluntary organization, the name was known as India Development Relief Fund. India Development and Relief Fund. IDR. It was controlled by RSS. That IDR fund collected by IDR channeled to India through Madras in Assam. Madras in Adivasi organizations are in India. RSS has penetrated in India. What is RSS? It controls the state power, military, judiciary, culture, education, everything, history. State power, street power, micro, macro, every sphere of the society is controlled by RSS in India. That RSS collected money from America, Maryland, the state of Maryland in America, channeled it to Gujarat, program, Madras in Assam. That money was used for massacre of the Muslims. America acquired about that. Select Committee, American Select Committee came to India, and the Select Committee of America found that money collected from their Maryland USA was used in Gujarat program. The matter was taken to American Congress, debated. Modi was denied visa for 10 years. This is the matter. America has the right to eliminate Muslims to Islamophobia, but that no right to Modi. It's American right, global right. And I am telling you the simple thing that now in the present Congress, what the Congress did, whether Congress did any intervention in Gujarat. Vajpayee asked whether Dharma is there, but Congress for 10 years from 2004 to 2014, Manmohan government did nothing. Many officers are in jail. His name is Ravi Bhatt. Yes. He is in jail for how many years? An upright officer. So this is the history of India. So what has happened? The Gujarat the elections to Ravi Bhatt. In the elections to the three states, what Congress did, Congress competed with the BJP through soft Hindutva. Congress competed. So who won? BJP won. Even OBC votes. Do you think that Congress ever used caste census question in Madhya Pradesh, in Rajasthan, or in Chhattisgarh? Caste census which would have been divided the BJP forces, and OBC votes would have been in the Congress, but Congress never discussed about the caste census in this assembly. So I am telling you frankly, so as RSS said, the RSS is capable to use any organization. So this is the Indian situation. Why we are discussing this situation? Why we are explaining? Because what should be our task? We must know that today the situation is too complex. Whether the communist and lefty forces, whether the progressive forces, democratic forces alone cannot resolve this problem. No. It is very difficult. Because we must understand that even in the 1930s, when international communist movement was advancing, when Soviet Union was there, as a leading force of the world, even at that time, there was an alliance with the ground-based forces. Even at that time, but at that time many mistakes were there. To appease the Armenia, to appease Britain, all the anti-fascist alliance, to please them. Communist International was dissolved in 1943. That was a great mistake because internationally the working class and the communist movement failed to analyze the world situation after Second World War. When the neo-colonial after the colonial world, when a new world order led by US imperialism came, it took the 50s and 60s when China said this neo-colonialism is more pernicious and sinister, more dangerous than colonialism led by US imperialism. I am not going into those details, but the international communist movement was not having an authority, a leader, a platform to analyze because Communist International was dissolved in 1943. Why dissolved? To appease the American imperialists. Today,
any ideological political setbacks. Therefore, today we should be very careful. Why? We have to make a distinction between fascist and non-fascist forces. No doubt. I am not saying that Congress is a fascist group. Even if Congress is committing mistakes, it is not a fascist group. So, we have to make a, I am not going to explain which is fascist, which is not fascist. But one thing should be clear, there should be a distinction between fascist and who are not fascist. So there should be a tactical understanding.
Tactical understanding and strategic understanding are different. Tactical means short term. For defeating fascism, we may have to make tactical adjustment. Tactical adjustment means we should not surrender our strategic long-term interest. What is the strategic long-term interest of the working class and the oppressed? What is the long-term strategic interest of the working class and the oppressed? Abolishing means the system. Create a society without exploitation. Create a society where nobody is exploiting others. Where all human beings are equal. This is the land which communists and progressive forces are always wishing. So today what we must do? We must always take care of our strategy. That is, the communists and left forces, the progressive forces, their purpose is to stand for the liberation of the working class and the oppressed. I am definitely saying oppressed because there are certain organizations which are now saying that only working class operates. Under Lenin, the second Congress of the Communist International in 1920 took a position. Marx said workers of the world unite. But in 1920, the second Congress of the Communist International changed that slogan. Workers and oppressed peoples of the world unite. That was the slogan of the second Congress of the Communist International. So today, communists understand the working class and oppressed should unite. In that context, who are the oppressed in India? Who are the oppressed in India? Then you have to understand the India's specific caste system. Without understanding the caste system, it is difficult to move an inch forward by the communist movement and the progressive forces. For this aspect, I am going to explain